Hello guys, welcome back. So today on the topic, Exorcist Believer. So I was quite excited about this horror movie, seeing as the fact that actually this movie is coming out the same year that is actually the 50th anniversary of The Exorcist. I don't know if that had anything to do with the making of this movie, but even so, fun fact to throw out there. Exorcist movie coming out the same year, 50th anniversary of the 1973 The Exorcist. So when I first saw this trailer, I actually kind of got pretty hyped, which is actually odd for me because I try not to get too hyped when it comes to seeing trailers because they'll always show you the good stuff, and that doesn't really mean anything. But I guess I got so hyped because I was seeing, like, in my opinion, like clips that looked like throwbacks to the original 1973 Exorcist. And then, of course, I saw Ellen Burst and Linda Blair, and I was like, oh, we're getting the gang back together after 50 years. I was like, nice. So my original thought as to seeing the trailer was that it's like they're going to bring the 1973 Exorcist and make it with 2023 technology. So it's like, that's my original thought, only to find out I was completely wrong. Just like how this movie did everything wrong. This isn't the first time I've gone to see a movie that I was excited for, only to later find out that it was terrible. But for a movie like this that got so much promotion, only for it to flop the way it did, it's just massively disappointing. Everything about this movie is wrong. First of all, the movie is about two girls who go into the woods and come back 3 days later and they're possessed by the devil. But they only focus on one of them. What about the other one? She don't matter? I guess not, since she already goes to church and everything. So I guess she don't matter. We don't need to discuss anything with her. The one they do focus on is a girl who is the daughter of a single dad who lost his wife in an earthquake, and he's like lost his faith and everything. But if that's really what you were going for, they really should have just had one girl get possessed, not two, if you were just going to cut the other one and put her on the benches till the very end. Also another thing, along with cutting out the main character in this movie that was bad, the other thing I see that was bad in this movie was basically using too much score. Yeah, if any one of you remember watching the original Exorcist from 1973, there was hardly any score played during like some main incidents, like, when Reagan was, going crazy on her bed, when she was stabbing herself, when the exorcism was going on. There was hardly any score during the important scenes that happened in that movie, whereas there was so much score in this movie. I was thinking, like, if they had used a lot more silence, it probably could have made the movie a lot better. The editing also done in this movie was also very cheesy as well. But the editing and the score, the way it was done, that usually goes hand in hand together. But with the way the editing worked with the minimal score in the original Exorcist, that's what made the movie really great. They seem to have forgotten that what made The Exorcist great. They should have used that as their springboard. But no, they just did the complete opposite. Give us tons of score to kind of like draw out the creepiness, and then just give us a bunch of bad editing with a whole lot of jump scares. I will shit you not. Like, after the first act of this movie, almost every 10 minutes after, there was a jump scare. And I was like getting so sick and tired of seeing it. I was like, Jesus, enough already with the jump scares, please. Just let us watch the movie. I've seen a movie like that where it went overboard with the jump scares, and let me tell you, it wasn't great at all. Also, the exorcism scene, that was like supposed to be the big climactic thing that was going to be, the thing that really gets us and gets us on our knees. It didn't really do anything but bore me to tears, because not only did the ending of it was very, very disappointing, but the whole exorcism scene was supposed to be about bringing people from different religions together to help them. We had people who were Catholic, I guess you could say Jewish, or women girl from Africa who was there, I believe, who did her thing. But only people I could understand during that exorcism scene were the girls who were being exorcised. Everyone else just sounded like they were mumbling all together, trying to exorcise these girls in their own way. While this person's doing their exorcism, I'm doing mine. I'm like, who is doing the main exorcism here? Or why aren't they taking turns here? Because I don't understand what they're saying. And that just basically said, like, wow, this is a mess. Oh, and Eleanor Burst and Linda Blair, before I forget, I also wanted to talk about them because they're the two originals for the original movie that were supposed to be. I thought they were supposed to be a big part of this movie. Like, oh, they're going to come back and help these people. Only to later find out, oh, they're just there to be there. They're part of the original cast. They're just there to be there. I'm like, wow. Like, they don't help whatsoever. It's pure cameo. That's it. The only shout out that I will give to this movie is the makeup artist who did all the makeup for the two little girls who were being possessed. Because, I mean, they did a really good job of showing their progression from when they started off as the 12-year-old sweet, innocent little girls to the way they move and progress into becoming the monster. You know, during the possession phase. They did a really good job of progression like they did with Reagan from the first Exorcist. How she progressed. That's the only shout out I'll give. One shout out, everything else is pure shit. That's why I'm giving this movie a D. A complete disappointment, complete waste of time to the Exorcist franchise. If you ever get it on, I'd say wait till it comes out on Vudu or Netflix. Just watch it then because this movie is definitely not worth it.